What is going on, everybody? We are back today. We're here with Jayden, who is out in Boise doing the thing. What's up, man?
Hey man, how's it going?
Dude, it is going so good. I've been looking forward to talking to you for a while now. Before we get going, I want to tell everyone to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell below. 60% of our viewers right now are people who are not subscribed to this channel. That means people who have not been familiarized with this content, and we're trying to destigmatize this stuff. So every time you do one of those things, it helps us out. All right, man. So what's going on? You got a hair system going on, right?
Yeah, I've had it for about a month.
You are looking fresh.
Thanks, man. Thanks to you.
Oh man, well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Just doing the Lord's work. I don't know. So
Right.
tell me a little bit about your story, man, and your experience.
Okay. So
Let's go. Let's take it back all the way to the beginning, hair loss and all this kind of stuff.
Okay. So my dad is completely bald. From I think from when I can remember, back as far like probably like 12 when I can remember, but just his whole life he's been bald. And like I actually didn't really get hit by it in high school. Like I had a decent head of hair, and like I was into sports, played basketball and soccer and stuff like that. And it was, I don't know, I never really thought about my hair loss. But the year after high school, this is back in 2013, so my hair loss has been kind of a slow progression. Some people lose it in like 2 years or whatever, but mine was like, I noticed that it started to like recede right here a little bit on both sides, and it was like thin. So like even right now I still have hair, it's just I have a receded hairline, and on the top of my head it's pretty thin, but I could cover it if I really wanted to. My biggest issue was I know eventually that it was going to be completely bald like my dad's, and for the past 7 years I haven't been able to style it the way I wanted. I've worn a lot of hats, just didn't even really buy hair products because it didn't work. Like I would just let it dry, because when my hair is drier it's thicker. So I just lost the joy of like hair products, like just doing it, making yourself look good. I just kind of let it do its thing and tried to cover up the baldness as much as I can.
Sure.
So,
And it looks like, you're a fairly like trendy, just stylish guy. And
Yeah.
I'm sure, you took some joy in like, getting a good style, good cut, right? And like to have that go away can be pretty tough, right?
yeah, yep. It was probably the hardest thing. Like I said, I've even had like, well, I've actually went to like 3 different hairdressers to look at my hair, and they were like, your hair's not even that bad. But to me, it was worse probably than what most people would see, because we are our worst critics. But to me, like, if I see a little baldness, that's a huge deal to me. Like you said, I'm very trendy, so I like to dress well, style well, and I like to have like a thick head of hair and be able to do my hair like different ways or whatever. So to me, it was a huge confidence hit by just having some baldness or not being able to style it the way I wanted.
Yeah, man, I get that. And they say, I don't know the exact statistic of what it is, but I think we've already lost like 60% of our hair by the time that we actually notice that we've lost hair. It's the density has gone down so much, and by that time people may say, oh, it's not that bad, but there's a noticeable difference. Like sometime in your life you just wake up and you're just like, holy crap, like I have really thin hair and I can't do anything with it. And I totally get that, man. So how was that for you, like psychologically?
When I was bald or now? Or
before, yeah.
Okay.
As you're going through that process.
Okay. So like I said, I mean, I've always been trendy, played sports, had several friends, and I'm not bragging or anything. I'm just talking about how my life setup was to this point. So I was like the jock, played school, played sports in school, had a lot of friends, like everything was great socially for me. I was athletic, I played sports my whole life. And then like, you never really think about things that could hit you hard. But when I started to notice my hair loss, for some reason, that just had a huge hit to my confidence. Like, and like I said, some people probably didn't even notice, but to me, I just felt like everybody was staring at the receding hairline, or everybody could notice it. Everybody's probably looking at it. Oh, this guy's losing his hair. When reality is, it was probably just me hyper focusing on it. But I would shy away in conversation. My body language wasn't all there. I would kind of like turn. I was like fidgety. And I don't know, when I was talking to girls even, like I just would be like, oh crap, are they looking at my hairline? Is it good enough for them? Like, so it was just kind of like an overall just self-sabotage. So that's the best way I can explain my consciousness towards it or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, that's all like very valid stuff. It may not even be something that is right on the surface. It can be sometimes like very, very subversive in this quiet voice that distracts you, or just starts to undermine, like you said, your confidence. And I really, really get that myself. In my experience, yeah, I was never the cool kid, but and I was homeschooled and all that kind of stuff. I was a little bit of the weirdo. It's all good though. But in my early 20s, right, I started to had some recession. And I remember the first time someone actually came up to me and they're like, "Hey, it looks like your hair is thinning." And I actually was in disbelief, and I was like, no, there's no way that I'm losing my hair. I was so afraid to lose my hair because my dad is bald like yours. And I just was like, there's no way that it's happening, not at all. And I kind of wish that I listened to him, but I didn't. Either way though, that can be super detrimental to your self-confidence and undermine a lot of different things in people's lives. I think it can undermine your confidence when it comes to like romantic situations, also comes to like professional things, not being as like aggressive and going for things that you might want, because you have that voice that starts to eat away, not about your hair, but about yourself, right?
Yeah, 100%. I felt that. Like, sorry to cut you off, but like, even like, just like you said, you kind of shy away in conversations with people or business or interviews. You're not like showing your full self. You're not afraid to like just show off who you are, and kind of like you have that little hide in the corner attitude. At least I did. So
yeah, no, I'm right there with you, and I think a lot of people that are watching this can probably agree with you on that one. So thank you for sharing that. So now you're wearing a hair system. Like, take me through that process, right? Like, let's start. What made you decide to kind of like look into making this change inside of your life? Like, what was kind of the moment, you know? And then take me through the progression and eventually actually getting the system, like the physical act of it.
Okay. So I'd say my start to the hair loss, like the progression of it, I probably did what most people do. You get online, you start searching like different products that might work. I've looked at Rogaine and all that. I used to do this like Nioxin, I think it was called, where you did like, you shampoo with it twice a day or something, and it makes your hair supposedly like better blood flow. And that actually worked for a while. Maybe the first year I noticed I stopped losing as much hair. But I mean, eventually it just kind of got worse and worse. And then my next thing, this happened about 2 years ago. I was looking into actual full-on wigs because I didn't know about hair systems. I looked into like the surgery, and I looked into like wigs. So I actually ordered a wig 2 years ago, and I didn't post on social media for like a good 6 months so I could grow out the sides of my hair. Because I didn't want anybody to be like, oh, this guy was bald, or this guy had short hair yesterday and now he's got a full head of hair. You know what I mean? So I actually wore a wig for probably like 4 months. And I remember I was at a party, and the reason I took it off was because these girls were like, is Jayden wearing a wig? And I ended up, like, my friends came back to me like, I think a week later, and they're like, dude, they know you're wearing a wig. They told us. Wow. So that was like, for someone that cares about their image so much, which is me, that was kind of like a stab in the heart. Like, oh, that is cruel. That is like, I feel so awkward now. I can never see them again because they're going to know I'm wearing a wig. So that's when I decided to take the wig off, is when they said that about me. Maybe I didn't do it right. Maybe it was really bad wig or something, but I decided to take it off and then play it off like I shaved my head in my Instagram photos, so people thought I just shaved my head. And then basically I saw your channel. I think I've been following you for like 5 months, so I didn't jump right on the hair system train right away. Plus the pandemic just hit, so it was kind of like, where do you order this stuff? Like, what's going on? So then I started to watch your videos, and you just really opened my eyes to people that, I mean, there are options out there for people like us that are losing their hair at an early age, old age, doesn't matter. And I learned a ton of information from you. Like, I mean, I couldn't find any information out there. I searched and I couldn't find it. You teach people the different styles, what you can do with the system on. You do experiments, like you were diving in the pool, like, because I was thinking, some of the thoughts I had were, if I get a hair system, then I can never shower. I can't go swimming. The wind will blow it off. Like, those are my uneducated first thoughts of it. But you do experiments to show men that, hey, it actually will stick on your head. The technology is there now. And you just opened my eyes to a lot of opportunities with it and how real it looks and stuff like that. So I decided a month ago to take the leap of faith. I ordered my first system right here from Lord Hair. And it's been literally such a blessing for my confidence. I feel like I'm that high school kid again with that swagger that I lost. Not a cocky swagger, but just like I'm my best version of myself. I felt like, I don't know, like hair loss just to me felt like some big part of me was missing. Kind of like your spirit has left you, if that makes sense. And I just have the spirit back in me now. Now the experience, like do you want me to talk about my experience now with like getting it in and finding a lady to do it and stuff?
Yeah, sure. You're covering all the bases, so just jump right in, man. Yeah, what was it like? You found someone. You actually have a really interesting experience that you told me about before we started this.
Yeah.
Being that you couldn't find someone around you, or you didn't find someone that you like. So what did you do? How did you get a system installed?
So I got the system. I called literally like every salon in my area. And I just like, that was another thing I wanted to give these guys advice on is I was very like insecure on reaching out to these people and actually being like, hey, I'm a dude and I'm trying to get a hair system on. Can you guys, anybody in your salon do that? And I felt awkward at first. But actually they were all very open to it. Some of them have done it before and it's not anything to be awkward about. It's just, again, myself overthinking that it was awkward. So I went to several different salons. Some of them had their own, like you talk about, excuse me, in your videos where they like to do their own program and it's like super expensive. Like I think there was this one that was like $4,000 for 2 or 3 systems a year. And it was just like, didn't really make sense to me. I thought I would try out like these websites that you gave me advice to try. So then I found this one lady. She had never done a hair system before, but she is very open. She does a lot of like beauty stuff. She does the whole, someone just called me if that cut her off. She does like eyebrows for women and like the tattooing and stuff. And she said, hey, I won't charge you very much if you want me to give it a try. Again, I've never done it before, but if you want to experiment with me, then I'd be happy to do it for you. So I decided, you know what, like she seems like she's at least experienced in this type of stuff, like at least fine detail stuff. And she cuts men's hair. So I was like, sure. So I went in and she actually did a really, really good job. And so much so she actually took a before and after photo of her work. And she's actually advertising that to other men now in my area on her social media page. And she's like entangled in like a couple like Boise hair web pages or groups, I should say, on Facebook. So she posted the before and after, and she said several male clients hit her up to get the work done. So that was kind of an interesting experience.
That's amazing. I love that for a couple different reasons. First, the fact that you actually let her take your picture and put it on display. And yeah, it helped her business, but what you did is not just help her, you just helped however many men eventually in Boise that are going to be helped by this. I mean, being brave and letting that picture be shown and, just revealing your identity or whatever is scary, but that's when we're at our best, when we can actually lead the way for other people instead of being scared and not giving that opportunity. So I want to commend you on that. I also think it's awesome that you kind of followed through with a unique method that we've talked about on the channel, being that you didn't go to a traditional hair salon or hairstylist. You went and actually found someone. You're like, hey, would you like to work with me? And do you think that you'd like to try this? One, you gave them an opportunity to expand their business, but two, I mean, you found someone who's obviously got the heart of a teacher, which we talked about on this channel. Someone that wants you to have a good result, someone that is willing to learn, and that's not something that you can take for granted. So I commend you on all of those things, and I think it's awesome that you managed to get through that awkwardness and kind of calling different places and being a little bit shy about it. It's tough at the beginning, but it's a necessary process, and on the other side of pain is everything you want. That's a quote I heard a long time ago, and I think it's so true.
And then just to add to what you said real quick, she like, it's obviously not perfect. Like, there's some imperfections in it. But we both discussed, me and her together, that we're going to experiment together and that there are going to be some flaws. And if men are thinking about this approach, someone is willing to take you on that has never done it before, just realize that there will be some imperfections and you guys are going to grow together and learn how to do it together. And like right now, my biggest problem is the hairline. Me and the lady are still trying to figure out how to like get it to stick longer. And it might be different product we have to use or whatever.
So what are you using right now?
So this right here, the first time, so this is the second time I've had it applied. The first time I got the front glued with, I think Walker Ultra Hold. Sure. And then I noticed after a week, it came up. The rest of it stayed, but I used Walker tape for that. The tape works really, really well for me. Like you said, you have a lot of tape. So I ordered the Walker tape on Amazon, and I think it's like, I can't remember the price. It might be $15, but
yeah, it's cheap.
Yeah, she taped all around the sides and then through the top, and that sticks really, really well to my head. The hairline, I think she could cut the hairline a little bit closer than netting. I think that's something that she could do. But yeah, it's just going to take some experimenting to figure out how to get that hairline down longer. So
yeah, for sure. So I mean, just quick recommendation that you want to try is get a scalp protector, right? So there's different brands out there, but that can really, I've noticed a probably 30 to 40% increase in hold time just using a scalp protector. Okay. So
yeah, I'll look into that.
Look at that
for sure.
But so let's talk about like where you're at now in this process right here. You know, we talked a little bit before this conversation, and you said that this has not just been about hair loss for you. This has been a much bigger thing. Let's talk about that.
Okay. So my whole life, I've been totally about being the best version of yourself, striving to achieve that version, not comparing yourself to other people, but truly trying to become the best version of yourself in all areas of your life, business, fitness, everything. So for me, having the hair loss was a huge imperfection to me. And it wasn't just an appearance imperfection like I talked about. It was also a very huge hit to my confidence. And men, we strive on confidence. That's like one of our biggest traits, is our ability to be okay with a lot of things, and confidence is huge for us. So one of my biggest elements was my confidence. Like I said, I would shy away in interviews, talking to girls. I couldn't look them in the eye, always in my head about what people are thinking about my hair. So just by getting this simple fix, I paid $150 for this piece. I fought all my demons inside and was able to overcome my fears of awkwardness, like getting it on, making phone calls to find out who can do it. And there's even the second time I got it put on, there was a full salon of people, and they saw me walk in with a full head of hair. They saw me have it ripped off and get my scalp massaged, or not massaged, but washed. And then I left with my full head of hair, and I was completely okay with that. But outside of that, we've went to a few parties, like we had the 4th of July party and stuff, and I've been surrounded by friends and stuff. And it's just, I'm a totally different person than I was. My confidence is through the roof. I feel amazing. I've noticed that at the gym, and like I'm getting a lot more attention from other people. Maybe it's just the confidence. I don't know. I can't tell you for sure what it is. Maybe it's the way I walk. Maybe it is the hair system. But I've noticed a lot more people are noticing me, and that's obviously a good, like, it makes you feel good when people notice you. But just internally, I just feel like a completely different beast that is ready to dominate the world, if that's it. Best way I can explain it to you.
I love that, dude. Yeah, no, that's definitely, I resonate with that a lot. I feel that it's so much more than hair, man. And whether or not it's because, you know, you have the hair that people are looking at you, I think ultimately it's more about that swagger factor that you talked about a little bit earlier. Like, you walk different, you talk different, you stride different, I don't know if you smell different, but
yeah, hopefully,
hopefully. It hits different when you like the way that you look, and you're on your game and you're on point, and other people can feel that. And and I think that, you know, one of the things that I hope people take away from this is, once again, we're talking about hair systems, but inside of your life as a man, especially, like, if there's something that you got to do, if it's really hard to do, if you're scared to do it, if it feels vulnerable or something like that, that's probably a great sign that you got to go and you got to do that, and you should do that like right now. You got to stop asking questions. You got to stop trying to figure everything out. You got to stop trying to figure out how to hack the system. You just got to go and you got to do it. You got to just put your head down and say, okay, I'm going to do this, and it's going to be tough, but that's a growth opportunity, and it translates to every other aspect of a person's life. It's not just about hair systems that you went through this. You went through the shyness and the vulnerability, and that's going to affect your relationships. You're going to be more vulnerable with people and let them see parts of you that you didn't let them see before. It's going to affect you in so many ways, right?
Yep, 100%. And just to add on to what you said, like a lot of people think that they have to have everything perfect before they get started. They got to have all the right equipment, the right camera, or when it comes to hair systems, they got to know every detail about it, the perfect bond, how long it's going to last, have the perfect haircut in mind. But the real successful people in life and the people that go far are the people that just get started and then they learn along the way. Like, it's good to have a basic understanding of what you're getting into, but you don't have to know everything to get started. Usually the people that try and learn everything, they never get started because they're constantly trying to study. So if you just have a basic understanding, you just got to put that foot forward and take the risk and just get started in anything that you're doing in life. That's what I found.
Dude, you're talking my language.
Yeah.
I love it so much. Like 1% better every single day. 1% doesn't look like anything, but 1% better every single day is 365% better in a year. Now that is, if you could get that kind of return in the stock market or in investments, man, you'd be a rich man.
People would be banging down your door to get your advice on how to do that.
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's so good. And you know, for the people, I hope you take Jaydens' advice, but if you're not taking his advice, go back and look at my stuff. Like if you look at my very first video to how I look now, like I have like 3 to 5 pictures that I've kind of saved on my PC that are like my 2020 glow up, I call it. Like before I got a hair system, when I first got a hair system, and then like a month later, and then now, and it's just like holy crap, like because I've learned so much, and I've just kind of honed it in, and I'm continuing to hone it in every single week, every single day. So if you're going through this process, it's okay, just get going, just like I did, or just like Jayden did, or somebody else did. Just get going. Yep.
And one thing, this is kind of an interesting way for me to think about it, is I was always ashamed of, like, I'm a dude. Oh, sorry, my low battery thing just popped up. I was always ashamed of, like, thinking, oh, I'm a dude, we can't alter the way that we are. Like, girls alter themselves, it's not okay for us. But that actually is what helped me. I realized that girls alter a ton about themselves, whether it's their nails, hair, eyelashes, they get a bunch of stuff. So for me, it was just like, who cares if I alter my hair? It's for me, it's not for anybody else. And what it's going to do for my confidence is going to outweigh anything, what anybody thinks. And also, you talk about how you should tell people if you want that you have a system. I totally agree. If you feel comfortable with it, go ahead and let everybody know that. Maybe not the first conversation, obviously, but if you want to let people know, like your friends and stuff, that you're wearing a hair system, that's totally your choice. And if you don't want to let people know, that's totally your choice as well. It's none of their business. It's totally about, I feel like, how you feel and what you're trying to present to the world. So
yeah, man, I love that. I 100% agree with you. Thank you so much, man, for sharing your experience, your knowledge, your wisdom, the things that you've learned, and where you're at this journey. I know that it's going to take you far, and that you're just going to get better and better every single day with this stuff, man.
Thank you for having me on here. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, dog. All right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Remember, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell below, and we will see you soon.